Everybody, MTG Gaming here along with Jose the Ocho. We got a lot to discuss, people. It's a lot of things has been happening in wrestling and baseball as well. Like, there's a lot to discuss, people, and I can't wait to get into all that. And I know, and Jose, I know you've been out for a while, and not been out for a while, but I know that for the past few weeks, I know you've been focusing on your mother. How's your mother doing?
Yeah. So far right now, we're just going to get some result. I mean, the good news is there is no surgery required, which is good.
Oh, okay.
And rehab is going to be one of the most things is focused on that. And got some other personal projects that I got to deal to. So excuse everybody my absence and my non-appearances and everything. I haven't attended meet and greets because this talents I've seen before. So it's we were supposed to have a meet and greet, Miguel, last week with Myra May or something, and
yeah,
she canceled out, and JWO is going to have some little big-time issues with her for lying and screwing your fans, dude.
It's funny because I actually met her in Dallas at WrestleCon. I didn't know who the hell she was. I didn't know who the hell she was. She was not even in AEW yet. I didn't know who the hell this girl was, and she acted like a heel around me. She wasn't kayfabe. She wasn't acting like a real bitch, but it's just that she was just trying to have fun with me, you know. Seems like a nice girl, but for some reason, why do I feel AEW is treating her like a sex slave? She's having all these girls make out with her.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But I think what's tough about, talents, it's never a good idea for them to lie to you when you're running a business and you promising your fans that, you're going to meet the talents. And, I think what got to us more that she screwed us. And she said she had some emergency things. And I'm like, my God, that's funny to do. I mean, I saw you yesterday on Collision and you're in a party, but do you understand that social media can go viral and, you were supposed to be committed to a certain event, that your fans were supposed to meet you and you're out there somewhere else. I mean,
right.
I mean, I don't understand. I think she should have taken an example like Briscoe, because Briscoe wanted to be invited to a meet and greet, but he canceled out. And he's been telling the host of the meet and greets that he is not too big to right now meet people. I don't know when that moment's going to happen, but he laid the cards on the businesses. Hey, thank you, but no thank you. So
did he
at least he said it,
Did he
but
ever
he did not go in
like why he's not?
He was maybe because of the pastimes that him and his brother had, going through, and then they probably feel not secured yet if they want to face that, or maybe how well they're going to be received, even though they do have fan-based support, and rest in peace for his brother, that they did rehab themselves and changed a bit. I mean, it could be so many reasons, they probably don't want to rub any feathers on anybody,
Right.
I mean, we can speculate like the way you say, but we can't judge or we cannot assume, but only Briscoe knows for sure maybe why he doesn't do meet and greets, because he did cancel WrestleCon last year, and he told JWO about it that, not now for meet and greets, or maybe never, or who knows,
Right.
Like I said, only Mark Briscoe knows for sure, dude. But you know what? I appreciate his honesty. If he's watching us, appreciate the honesty, bro. So
yeah,
do what you gotta do. Defend your title,
Right. And
but yeah, it sucks when they screw you, dude. It really does suck when they screw you. So what's your opinion on that when talents do that to you? What will you feel in your own mind when they say they're gonna commit to meet you and the fans, and then they lie you in the end of the day?
To be honest with you, I don't know. I really don't know. But if someone,
have you ever experienced yeah, go ahead.
But if it's someone that I really like for example, The Undertaker, I'll be disappointed. But
yeah, I mean, did you ever experience a meet and greet, Miguel, when the talents say they're going to show up at March 12th, but then in the end of the last minute, they say they're not going to be there, and then you're finding out that they're lying to you because, social media is the biggest thing, Have you ever experienced any predicaments like that in meet and greets? I mean, have the talents been committed to meet you guys and everything in your part of the town?
Well, the only meet and greet that ever canceled out on me was when I went to Ranger Stop, the Power Ranger
Okay.
convention in Orlando. They bring in Ninja Turtle
Yeah.
characters. I wanted to meet
Yeah.
Kevin Nash. I already met him, but I wanted him to sign my Intercontinental Champion because he did beat Razor Ramon on Superstars for the Intercontinental Champion. That's why I want him to sign it. But he
Hmm.
canceled out. He's been
Yeah.
canceling out on meet and greets, and I think he's still depressed about his
Yeah. He
son
canceled this one
dying.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, about his son dying and about Scott Hall's death. Like 2022 was a really rough year for him because two of his close people died. Like his son died, then first Scott Hall died, and then his son
Yeah.
died. So he's kind of feeling sad and depressed about that. So which I mean, I get that he misses them and that he was very close with Scott and he was very and depressed about that. So yeah, can't really blame him.
Yeah. Well, he has an excuse. I mean, evidently, we've been seeing what Kevin Nash has been going through. I think his reason it's he has a pass and it's understandable.
Right.
But I think when you have
And
other kind of talents that they say they're going to be there for you, then they lie you in the end of the day, and you see them out there partying around somewhere. It's like, dude, why lie? Dude, it's like, how hard is it for you to say you're not big on a meet and greet or you're not ready for a meet and greet? It's like I mean, I experienced through events that that some of these talents have screwed the audience and screwed the fans, and I probably even seen it before other talents, canceling events or something. Because I remember the Warrior definitely screwed the fans. Remember when he was scheduled to some go home show dark match and he never showed up. It was a promotional match that he missed out, and he said he didn't want to show up or something like that. I can understand why the audience feels screwed when your talent, leaves you hanging or something.
yeah.
But
And
you never experienced anything like that in your hometown and anything like that, creamy. I mean, I
no,
seem like your meet and greets have been pretty solid and everything.
no, and there's actually a meet and greet coming up here in Palm Beach, and I never met this guy before. Guess who's coming? Mick Foley.
Uh, oh, he's gonna be crowded, dude. You better be the first in line,
Yeah,
guarantee it.
yeah, and
So
then also if I ever go to if I ever go to the Comic Con in West Palm Beach here in Florida, I would want to meet Zach from the Power Rangers. I already met him 2 times. It's just that I never got a picture with him, so maybe this time finally I can probably get one.
yeah, don't be surprised if they do change their prices a lot. It never stays stable. You know what I mean? I mean,
Right.
it is what it is. I'm not gonna debate the pricing and everything, unless if you're charging if you're asking for, you know, millions of dollars for you to get a meet and greet. I mean, Cargill's expensive.
Oh, cut the shit.
For yeah, she won't say that to Michael Cole, dude. Believe me.
Yeah.
You gotta wait saying it to Tony Schiavone, but I don't think you're gonna say it to Michael Cole or
Yeah.
Corey Graves for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the experiences that I had to some meet and greets. That there are some talents that are not that forgiving, that I won't forgive for them screwing us and screwing the audience. It's something that even Vince McMahon said himself, that missing out a promotional event that you have been advertised, the rule is the biggest no that a talent should not be doing. You know what I mean?
The following contest is the Royal Rumble match. Now, the two superstars that drew number 1 and number 2 will start the ring at the same time. Other superstars will join in the order they drew. This will continue until all 30 superstars have entered the ring. Eliminations occur when you are thrown over the top rope with both feet landing on the floor. The last superstar in the ring will be declared the Royal Rumble winner and will go on to face the champion of their choice at WrestleMania!
Ladies and gentlemen, the People's Champion is here. I can barely hear you, Saxton. The WWE Universe has come unglued. Oh, you know why, Corey? It's all due to the power of the Brahma Bull.
Introducing the participants. First, from Miami, Florida, weighing in at 265 pounds, the WWE Undisputed Champion, The Rock!
The Great One has returned to WrestleMania, where he's beaten the likes of Hogan, Austin, and Cena on this grand stage. Yeah, The Rock has also hosted WrestleMania and even holds the record for the quickest WrestleMania match at 6 seconds. That's twice as long as you'd last, Saxton. Excuse me? He's the trailblazing, eyebrow-raising phenomenon.
The multi-time champ is here.
Already a record-setting champion, John Cena.
The Royal Rumble is really one of the most unpredictable matches in a career-defining victory for anyone who manages to claim it.
The stakes are high and the entrants are top secret. When we say anything can happen in WWE, we say it because of matches like this. Into a powerbomb.
Who's it going to be, fellas?
Neck is trapped. Suplex.
Here they come.
Fought off with an elbow. A stalemate of counters. Oh!
And a reversal by Guerrero. Kick to the midsection. Sunset flip.
Nice running crossbody.
Next entrance getting ready to come out.
Oh, right across the solar plexus.
That was a hell of a maneuver there, guys.
Ooh, elbow strike.
There he is. He looks focused on the task at hand.
You can see the fire in his eyes from here.
Ah, jeez. He's got the answer for that one.
Whoa, not quite yet.
This could be it. Elimination.
Their things.
All right,
Okay,
we
go
live
ahead.
back. Sorry about that, people. I unplugged by
Oh, is it?
accident.
Yeah, apologies. Yeah, how did you enjoy your Mavericks? Because I know that's going to be a little short topic, because I haven't definitely seen. I've seen my Angels going through some cuckoo.
You mean Marlins?
Yeah,
They're not the Mavericks. They're the Marlins.
the Mavericks, Marlins. Yeah. Oh, excuse me, audience. You know, I'm really spaced out here, but
Right.
I wanted to talk to that topic about Miguel showing up to his baseball events, which I have seen him post it up. So.
Right. And
So what you got going, man? Because I know my Angels are no good right now, and honestly, let me share this part with you.
Go ahead.
I mean, I know we lost our guy, and he's now with the Dodgers, and I think as Angels, we feel like probably we have our hands clean, that we don't have to deal with the mess and the controversy that they're dealing with, their legal problems, you know. So, yes, he was a big loss, you know, for the franchise, and amazing athlete, or
Right.
either maybe the Angels had nothing for him, or they didn't want to pay him that kind of money. Now, as for the Dodgers, yes, it is a smart move that they got him. But now that I'm seeing controversy and distractions, I don't know yet what's going to happen to the team. Because, I mean, I've been watching some games there, but I can't congratulate myself just yet until we see it, you know.
And
I mean, the signings are good. The talents are good, but, I mean, what's your take on it, and what are you seeing right now? Because I know you call it like you see it, you know.
I mean, so far he's playing good for them right now, and he's been batting really good in the last few games. Second, you guys for some reason couldn't build a team around him. I mean, you guys, the second best player was Mike Trout. Mike Trout is still there, and he has a knee injury, and he's possibly out for the season. And he's the best guy you guys have right now. And you guys kind of couldn't really. You made some questionable moves that were like, huh? And you guys haven't really made a good enough moves for him to stay. And second, I had a few questions about him getting paid, the amount of money that he's getting paid. He's getting paid $700 for like 10 years. Why the hell are you guys paying this guy? I get he's really good. He has 2 MVPs. He's a multiple-time All-Star. I get he's all good, but why does he deserve all that money? He hasn't won you guys he hasn't even won you a World Series. And second, he can't pitch this season. He can only hit because he's out. You know how he's a pitcher and a DH, a designated hitter.
Yeah.
He can't pitch because he has some sort of injury that kind of doesn't make him pitch, but he can still hit. It's just that that raised a lot of questions on why they paid him $700 for 10 years, and the guy hasn't even won a World Series yet, and he's getting paid more than LeBron James and Patrick Mahomes.
And most of all, you know, I don't need to be a Dodger fan to answer this one, but, you know, I got friends and workers that are Dodger fans. They are not paying a high ticket, you know, to go to a Dodger game because, you know, that the Dodger tickets have gone up.
Right.
And they're not going to pay that certain hard-earned money to go see him.
And Brian?
It doesn't matter if you're going to win the World Series or not.
Right.
And honestly, you know the reality of it. They say that when you go to playoff games from, you know, NFL and NBA and so on, they say that playoff tickets are pricey. I mean, I've never been to a playoff game, so I can't answer you, but some people that have experienced it, they told me that playoffs are pricey.
Oh, it is pricey, especially
you agree with
in
that?
the NBA. Here in Miami, when the Heat makes it to the playoffs, it gets expensive. Even though we lost in the first round against Boston, but they would have never beaten us that easily if Jimmy Butler was playing. But that's another subject. But let me just stay on topic here. And Brian, his dad is a season ticket holder, so he's going to be seeing Ohtani play a lot. So at least Brian's dad got season tickets, and it's cool for him that he's going to go see Shohei Ohtani play a lot in a Dodger uniform. And by the way, Jose, your team, the Angels, has kicked my team's ass three straight in a row here in Miami in the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I saw that. It popped in on my YouTube.
Right, and here's one thing. The Marlins are the biggest stupid management in the history of sports. Not just baseball, in the history of sports. We've always had bad management. We only made 4 playoff appearances and we won 2 World Series. And I don't know how the hell we won 2 World Series. Have you ever heard of a franchise in either sport, whether it's in the NFL or the NBA, has been around for 30 years and only made 4 playoff appearances and had 2 World Series? Isn't that a little fishy to you?
Yeah, it does. Very. I agree with you there. And it does make question marks on that.
Yeah, and the thing
You're right.
And the thing that pissed me off as a Marlins fan, that pissed off real Marlins fans, we just traded one of our best players, and he's the best contact hitter in baseball, Luis Arias. The Marlins just traded him to the San Diego Padres. He wanted to stay in Miami his whole career. He wanted to stay in Miami for a good while, but the Marlins are stupid to get rid of him. And they faced a lot of backlash on that, because I know in the Marlins Instagram page and Marlins new reports that people have, those fan reports, they were all saying, "Oh, Bruce Sherman, sell the team. That's our owner, Bruce Sherman. Sell the team, sell the team, sell the team. Peter Bendix needs to get fired. That's our new GM." Because last year we had a lady who actually got our roster constructed for us to go to the playoffs last year. Like, we signed some great talent, and there was some talent that we couldn't bring back because they don't want to spend the money, because you got to spend money to win. That's the whole problem with the Marlins. They don't want to spend money to win. The only time that they ever spent money was back in 2003 when we won the World Series against the Yankees. That's the time that we spent the most money in history. But the Marlins are stupid. Isn't that a little shady to you? That
yeah. And you know, we haven't won a World Series since 2004. And we're in 2024 now. It's
2002.
Was it? Yeah, I remember. Let me see my calendar.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Yeah. But still, it's been too long. You know, I mean, I give flowers to my guy Tim Salmon that he finally got himself a championship for the World Series, because he's been an Angel diehard, you know, all his life, but he walked away with a good retirement gift. But you know, but here's the thing: when it comes to the world of sports and major leagues, sometimes these franchises don't understand that. I think the fans are more than you. Why would you want to make a disagreeable trade which is not worth trading, you know? Just like you just brought up earlier. It's like, seems like the fans are more right than the bookers and the franchise itself, you know? It's almost like, damn, dude, Miguel, they had to hire you then because you probably knew that was a disagreeable decision and a questionable call.
Damn right. And then we lost one of our all-stars, Jorge Soler, who had 36 home runs for us last year. All he wanted.
I'm sure they must have regretted. They must have regretted by the end of the day, if I'm mistaken, right, Miguel?
In a way, yeah, but they don't give a. That Marlins ownership don't give a shit about the fans. It's first in. Yeah, I said that live on the air. Fuck you, Bruce Sherman, for trading Luis Arias. What's up, Christian? And Christian Reigns is in the live. Hi, how you doing, Christian?
You guys are live on pay-per-view right now?
Yeah, we're on YouTube.
Yeah, we're doing spilled milk right now.
Yeah, we're doing spilled milk, and then we're gonna do it on you, Christian, the spilled milk.
Yeah. So we root for our Putos to win their tag team champions in SmackDown.
Hell no. He ain't gonna start with that, homie.
Oh, Christian, what if your girlfriend buys you a shirt of Pretty Deadly?
I wear it.
Not you, Jose. I'm talking about Christian. Imagine Christian's girlfriend buying him a Pretty Deadly shirt. How would you react, Christian, just out of curiosity?
I support you.
I'll grab that shirt. I'll burn it alive. Maybe I'll burn it alive.
Run it over your bike if you have to.
Nah, I was gonna say something else, but it is inappropriate, so I'll keep it to myself.
Oh, let me unplug. We'll plug back in. You can say that. Go ahead, say it.
You can say that. Just say it again, because the Big Boss Man did that to Mr. Perfect's towel at WrestleMania 7, so you're cool. Why not, Chris? Why not? You remember that, man?
I'm gonna wipe that with my culo, cabrón.
There you go. See, rest in peace for the Big Boss Man and Mr. Perfect, but I remember the Big Boss Man did that too to Perfect's towel. So if he got away with it, why not you, Chris?
Right. Yeah, but, that's funny.
Yeah. Well,
but back to baseball. We were just talking about baseball. Yeah, and that owner, and then even there was protesters at yesterday's game against the Phillies, and we got our ass kicked by the Phillies yesterday. And there were some protesters saying that the MLB should investigate the Marlins front office. Bruce Sherman needs to sell the team, and there was a lot of angry Spanish people that were writing signs and said some shit in Spanish about the Marlins organization. So yeah, I wish I was out there to protest, because that team needs to be investigated, because that team is so weird. Like, it's just so weird. Like, what other franchise? I know I already asked Jose this, but I want to ask you, Christian. In any franchise, whether if it's in the NBA or the NFL, who the hell? The Marlins has been around for 30 years. We only made 4 playoff appearances and won 2 World Series. How the hell is that even possible?
No idea.
Like, no other, I don't think no other franchise has ever done that in any sport.
No.
But there's always been questionable. There's always been questionable trades that don't make sense. Like just like you said it earlier, yo.
Yeah.
It's not the first, and it ain't gonna be the last. And you just really said it yourself. These guys don't give a shit about it. Doesn't matter what you and me and Chris think about it. Doesn't matter what we think.
And not only that, one of our best players, the Jorge Soler, the guy that I just mentioned, he just wanted an extension on his contract. It's not like he was asking for $100 and some million contract. I mean, they could have paid him the amount of money he wanted. All he wanted was $50 million for 3 years. Hell yeah, I would have paid him. You don't have a lot of athletes asking for that low kind of money. You have a lot of athletes these days that are asking for more than $100 million contracts these days and stuff. But he was asking only for $50 million for 3 years. And Luis Arias, our best contact hitter, he didn't even want a lot of money. He just wanted very little. He only wanted like a $12 million extension. That's all he wanted. We could have gave him that. It's not a lot. It's not really rare that you find athletes that want less money so they can stay on the team.
Yeah. Well, in the Lakers, Samaki Walker didn't ask for a lot of money, and look, he won a ring. You know.
Yeah.
And remember the Heat, Mark Bibby. He didn't get paid that much, but I kind of wanted him to win a championship ring that year.
Yeah, but Mike Bibby
there are some athletes that don't ask for a lot.
Yeah, but Mike Bibby was already out of his prime when he came on the Heat. Like that, Mike Bibby was on the Heat when it was LeBron, Wade, and when it was the Big Three's first year here in Miami. They got him like around mid-season before the trade deadline. Yeah, but he wasn't worth. I don't think there was really any value in him. He was just a veteran that was just trying to help win a championship at an older age. Like that's all he was trying to do.
Yeah, he wanted to do it like Drexler did it, you know, or like Barkley wanted to do, you know, win a ring from a team that has a chin at that time. And remember, Shaq and Kobe were so dominant at that division that year.
And the Sacramento Kings
Sacramento was good
ass.
when you had Weber, Vlade Diva,
Mitch Richmond,
Bibby, you know, but. That whole thing that Sacramento had doesn't exist anymore now, you know.
No, it doesn't. And, you know, I mean, Sacramento had a good team back in the day, and they still have a good team now, actually. They have De'Aaron Fox. Yeah. They got guys these days, so, I mean...
Well, it is a threat to the Lakers division, you know, because they're neighbors, you know, so...
Yeah.
From Golden State, Sacramento, Clippers, Lakers, yeah.
And Brian doesn't like the Kings. I know Brian doesn't like the Sacramento Kings.
Well, it's your rival.
Yeah,
what do you mean? Of course
Brian doesn't like the Celtics. I know Christian, do you dislike any team in the NBA, even though you're a Laker fan? Christian?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
Not really.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. I mean, what do you guys think of the firing of the coach of the Lakers now? I mean, where do you think Chris? Let's ask Chris this question. Where do you think the Lakers are going to stand right now? And do you guys have anybody in mind that definitely wants to coach the team?
No, just make sure that team works. That's all I want, man. You know, fortunately, the power for Lakers are not meant to save, you know.
Yeah, and here's another question, and I even asked this to Miguel. Do you feel in the Lakers franchise, for any coach that definitely coaches in the Lakers, do you feel like it's big shoes to fill in? Because you're not going to find coaches like Pat Riley and Phil Jackson that brought championships. Do you think it's bigger shoes to fill in? You as a Laker fan, how much you know about that?
All right, repeat that again. My bad, bro.
Yeah, the question is, being a Laker coach, do you feel like it's big shoes to fill in? Because you're not going to find a Pat Riley or Phil Jackson that were successful bringing championships to that franchise. What's your take on it?
Give me anybody. I don't mind, you know.
What's your take on it, Miguel?
¿Está tomando, Cristiano?
Nah, dude, I'm just tired. That's all, dude.
Okay. Okay,
All right, yeah.
check this out.
So what's your take, Mike?
Of course, when you play for the Lakers, when you work for the Lakers, either as a player or a coach, it's a lot of pressure. I mean, because you know the Lakers is a successful franchise, even the Celtics is the same. Even though I don't like the Celtics because I'm a Heat fan, but it's a very tough shoes to fit in because you know the Lakers have a whole history. And if you look up the banners, if you look at those numbers that have been retired over the years, so yeah, it's very. It's under pressure, and plus, them LA fans those Laker fans are great fans, and they're diehard fans, and they'll let you know if they like you or not. That's what Smush Parker and Kwame Brown and Chris Mim had to learn. Those were the worst Lakers of all time.
And well, here's your question too for you, Miguel, and you have one of the best former Lakers that's with your Heat, Pat Riley.
Yeah.
How do you feel having Pat Riley in your team, and how much he's accomplished to the Miami Heat community?
Oh, bro, words cannot really explain why. It was back in '94 when we brought Pat Riley in as a GM and a coach, and he was both the GM and the head coach at the same time. And he went to work right away. The first person he brings in is Alonzo Mourning from the Charlotte Hornets, and Alonzo Mourning carried us to the playoffs. And then Riley has always been smart with trades. He even and then after you get Alonzo Mourning, and then in midseason you got Tim Hardaway, who became the best point guard in Heat history You got him from the Golden State Warriors. Pat Riley has always been smart with trades, and
you had Wade, correct? Was he one of your first picks, Wade?
I think that was his first pick when he in the NBA draft. That was back in 2003. I think Wade was the 5th pick of the 2003 NBA draft, and and Wade became the greatest Miami Heat of all time throughout his career going on. And Riley really got to work when he started working for the Heat, and Riley. And then in Miami, both Alonzo Mourning and Tim Hardaway, they were a really good team. I mean, they had a really great year in '97. They were the best team in the East, I think, or second best team behind the Bulls.
Yeah.
And then they got eliminated in the 3rd round of the Eastern Conference Finals to the Bulls. If you remember that playoff series between the Bulls and the Heat back in '97.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I mean, how did you feel? How did you feel when you guys had Shaq? Because I think he was traded for Brian Grant, Lamar Odom. I forgot the 3rd guy. Was that considered a trade or a free agency or anything like that?
That was. I
don't remember that one.
That was a trade because Shaq.
You think that was a worth trade? 3 for Shaq or something like that?
Absolutely, because Brian Grant and
Lamar
Odom wasn't bad, but Brian Grant he wasn't really a good Miami Heat. He wasn't really a great player, but the reason why Shaq wanted to get out of LA because him and Kobe weren't getting along, and
they had disagreements.
Yeah, and then so Shaq had to be traded, and let's say if Kobe and Shaq always got along, that trade would have never happened, and like they had no choice. They had to do that, and Shaq came in, and then when Shaq came in, Riley still went to work. He brought in Jason Williams, he brought in Gary Payton, he brought in Antoine Walker, he brought in James Posey. He brought in more. He made some more smart moves to get us where we needed to be. So
I mean, you guys went so viral when Shaq made the appearance, and I heard that the merchandise and the tickets sold so quick when. In day one, Shaq made an appearance, and you guys were already sold by it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then when Miami
I mean, how did you feel about that?
I mean, when Miami got Shaq, they did a whole parade for him. A lot of people were there. And then this lived in the heart of Heat fans, like myself. When he was on stage in Miami at the American Airlines Arena, which is now the Kaseya Center, which I hate that name. I still call it the American Airlines Arena. He was on top, and he
I still call it the Staples Center.
Yeah, that's LA, the Lakers. And he did say this: "I'll bring a championship to Miami, I promise." And he did that. He did exactly that. Him and Wade and everybody else on that team, he delivered that promise. And, you know, I mean, so yeah, that's why, you know, Shaq, I love him.
I just feel like you as a Heat fan, you guys really had a very good moment when Shaq made his appearance, you know.
Yes, he did. Yeah, Shaq was a great Miami Heat. Won one title with us, but Wade got the Finals MVP over Shaq did. So Dwayne Wade was basically Shaq's new sidekick.
How did you feel when LeBron James made his appearance? Was it different than Shaq's appearance or something? I mean, because he had a lot of bad heat when he left Cleveland. Remember that?
Oh yeah, that was even bigger, bro. Like they did a whole ceremony when both Bosh and LeBron came to Miami. Well, Dwayne Wade had to take a pay cut for each time when stars came in. It was worth it. And Christian,
What's up?
what's going on? Are you?
Eating.
Oh, you're eating. Oh,
He's
okay. Oh, okay. All right. Like I was saying.
Okay, get back to LeBron. You said LeBron, okay.
Yeah, I remember that like it was yesterday. And they did a whole ceremony in the American Airlines Arena. They did like a whole intro for Bosh and Wade and LeBron to come out on stage, and they were getting interviewed. And people automatically knew that LeBron was going to win a championship here in Miami. And, you know, and then it was crazy that Pat Riley really pulled that off to get LeBron James here in Miami. That's why Pat Riley, if it wasn't for him making these roster trades and all these roster signings, we had 3 NBA titles under Pat Riley, because before Pat Riley got here, we were a shitty ass team. So all credit.
How did you feel the defeat with Dallas when you guys were defeated against Mark Cuban when you guys brought LeBron? I mean,
well,
I don't know. Did you feel that Pat Riley must have shot himself in the foot on that?
I remember watching that series. That Dallas team was really good. LeBron wasn't really playing.
Oh yeah, and it was well deserved.
Yeah, LeBron wasn't playing that good, so LeBron has to take accountability over that. And I think that if LeBron would have gotten his shit together in that finals, possibly the Heat would have had a better chance of winning. But it's just that LeBron was only averaging 17 points in that series. The person that was averaging more points was Dwayne Wade. He was averaging 25, and that was LeBron. And LeBron didn't have that experience like how Dwayne Wade had in the finals, because Dwayne Wade did win a title before LeBron did. And Chris Bosh, these guys, is just that these guys need to learn how to step up, you know. And they did that next season when we beat Oklahoma City, and then we beat the San Antonio Spurs, won back-to-back titles. In 2014, I don't know what the hell happened, because the San Antonio Spurs.
I think it was a big deal. Yeah. You think it was a very big deal? I found that it was a big deal for Dallas, you know, Mark Cuban win, because they say for Jason Kidd it was overdue for a championship, and Kukowski, and then they say that Nash, you know, Steve Nash said regretted for leaving Dallas because he went to Phoenix, and finally Dallas gets a ring, you know.
Mm-hmm. And then and it was a big deal for Dirk Nowitzki as well, because Dirk Nowitzki is one of the greatest.
It was overdue for him.
Well,
which was probably their first and their only championship.
It is. It's actually,
I mean, that's the part that we're going to go. Including Jason Kidd, because he was kind of looking like he was ready to retire, but that ring kind of like got. I mean, remember he was with the New Jersey Nets, and the Lakers swept them during the NBA Finals, dude. They didn't even get a chance to have a win.
The Spurs beat him in the finals as well.
Yeah.
And
so
I also remember that in that 2011 finals, Dirk Nowitzki was really kicking our ass. Jason Terry was knocking those threes downtown. JJ Barea came off the bench. He was also knocking down all these threes. I mean, I've always loved Dirk Nowitzki. And I know a lot of Dallas Mavericks fans don't like the Heat, but as a Heat fan, I've always been a fan of Dirk Nowitzki. I said that live on the air, people. I am a fan of Dirk Nowitzki, and I'm a Heat fan. And I've always loved Dirk.
But he's talented. You can't take that away from him.
Absolutely.
And I agree with that with Miguel.
I love Dirk.
Can't take his talent away.
I would get his jersey. If I ever come across his jersey at Lids or something, at my local mall or whatever, I'll get his jersey. So yeah, Dirk Nowitzki.
It seems like your Heat community must have felt not enthusiastic when you guys lost that championship to Dallas, and I didn't know when you just told me right now that I can't believe that LeBron took a lot of accountability. I mean, especially with the downfalls with Cleveland and then coming in here, you know. I don't know. It just looked like it made him that he became public enemy #1, you know?
Right.
Because he was blah, 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 you know?
Yeah, but you can't really blame LeBron for leaving Cleveland back in 2010. Like, think about it. Look at the roster he had. A late 30-year-old Shaq, Antoine Jameson, and your second best player was Mo Williams. That team had no future. They lost in the second round that year against Boston.
Do you think this controversy? Do you think this controversy was very misunderstood? Because it just, for LeBron, they just put him nothing but the bad guy. You know that.
Definitely, those Cleveland fans are retarded. They shouldn't even be. Why are you guys burning this guy's jersey? You're talking shit about this guy. You should be mad at Dan Gilbert, who was the manager, who was the general man. I don't know if he still is, but he was the general manager of Cleveland at the time. You guys should be pissed at him because he's the one that made some bad moves by bringing in old guys who he bought an old. Did you really think a 36-year-old or a 37-year-old Shaq that was going to help LeBron win a championship at that age?
That was not going to do any favors if you brought Shaq to Cleveland at all.
No, and then
it didn't do any favors.
No,
you know?
It didn't. And like, so yeah, these Cleveland fans are selfish, and they call Miami fans the most fickle fans. I take offense to that. You guys are the most fickle fans. I mean, we built a team around LeBron. Riley had to make some trades to make after that 2011 loss to Dallas. Had to make some trades and had to make some moves, and he did that. And we won back-to-back titles for that. And you guys should be blaming Dan Gilbert for that, not LeBron James. Because I'm pretty sure if any of you Cleveland fans out there who was mad at him, I said this live on the air. All you Cleveland fans that were burning his jersey and shit, you guys would do the same thing if you were in his shoes. Next subject.
Yeah, it seems like he became nothing but a fall guy. He took a lot of heat right there, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, his controversy went so viral that a lot of people just took him as nothing but the bad guy, you know. I mean, I don't have to be a LeBron James or not to say it, but I wanted to see what really happened, what got to that level, what got him to that predicament, why they put him in that back position. It was considered like some people were saying that he put himself in a position that made him public enemy #1, and you know, it's like everybody hated him, you know.
Yeah, but I was a little disappointed when he left Miami.
Yeah.
Even me as a
I mean, I asked you that as a Miami fan, that, you know, the experiences that you guys had to deal with this trade, these controversies, you know, having Pat Riley with you and then Shaq, and, you know, it seems like you had, guys, a good moment, a bad moment, an unbalanced moment, you know, you name it, you know. So that was a pretty interesting experience. Yeah, I wanted to always come up that subject during that topic, you know.
And I've witnessed games where LeBron, I witnessed games where LeBron, Wade, and Bosh were together. I witnessed like 4 games involving them, and the rest of my Heat games that I ever attended, they were all Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh moments, but it was mostly Wade.
Wow.
And
well, at least definitely a very good, interesting experience that you had. It was good that you would share it to these people, all these viewers. That I was always curious to ever bring that topic to you.
I was sitting up top at Heat games. I remember going all the way down, sneaking through security, sneaking to go down to the court, which I did that. And I went down and I got close to LeBron James. And I took a picture of the whole people that were on the bench because it was on a timeout. It was a game against Boston. And I remember that because, you know, I love the Heat. Still do to this day. I just bought this today, actually. This is a Jason Williams Miami Heat jersey. Who was our point guard back in 2006.
There you go.
So, yeah, I had to get it. And, you know, I mean, being a Heat fan, still am to this day. I haven't been to a Heat game since 2016, so I hope I go to one. Hopefully next year.
Yeah, because I know there's NBA Finals, and, you know, the Clippers and the Lakers are out, so, you know, who knows who's going to make it out there and everything. But there it is. Here's another topic. What do you think of Ronda Rousey because we had a meet and greet in LA with Ronda Rousey at the Barnes & Noble, which I was not interested in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I did discover that the book that she wrote is like, she was talking about the evils, how WWE treated her bad, or she was treated unfair, the women treated unfair. And then she came up with a topic in this podcast that she started saying that the Bloodline had more catering than she did. Why would you want to try to debate against the Bloodline if WWE has been invested in the Bloodline?
And the Bloodline...
Did you hear that report earlier?
No, I haven't, but the Bloodline is far more over than Ronda Rousey.
Why would she complain that the Bloodline was getting more cater than she did? Why would she bring some shit like that, Miguel?
She's starting to sound like CM Punk, because CM Punk did the same shit at WrestleMania 28 when he was complaining about John Cena and The Rock main eventing over him.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's kind of the same thing, you know. So, as far as Ronda...
It's kind of sad that she's writing a book about that, you know, how bad they treated her or something. I never seen anybody write that in a book, dude. I mean, you could, but not this way, you know.
But I did hear a report that she said that they show favor to Logan Paul. I'm like, well, you got booked better than Logan Paul did. Logan Paul had the United States title. You main evented WrestleMania 35, and you were the Raw Women's Champion for a good minute, and you main evented against Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch. So you're saying that...
And you were given a spot.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you made history.
And she complained that she was treated unfair.
Right. And
so it's like, why are you saying things like that? You were given a WrestleMania spot that probably other women talent could have had it.
And not only that,
and you're complaining?
You were the first ever. You were the first ever main event first ever woman to main event WrestleMania. And you're complaining and you're comparing yourself on how Logan Paul got booked. You got booked way better than Logan Paul did.
Do you think that Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch were a threat to her in the business when she was in WWE, or any women talent that you might know of?
Absolutely. And Charlotte Flair is way better than Ronda Rousey.
Mm-hmm. I mean, she was given a spot to main event WrestleMania. You became a champion and a tag team champion, which honestly, the tag team champions are still dead titles anyway, but...
Right. And and another thing is that she got over instantly, Ronda Rousey, because people knew who she was for being in the UFC. Because I know you disagree about celebrities and athletes. Well, I don't know about. Do you disagree with other athletes from different sports appearing during wrestling? Because
appearing in the wrestling ring in the WWE or in the wrestling community, you could say so. But I'm not gonna take Ronda Rousey's talent in the octagon thing, that she made accomplishments there. I'm not taking that away from her, because in the octagon and the MMA thing, that was like her baby and her sport and her thing and her accomplishments.
But
and people and the viewers need to understand that's something that we don't take away from. She accomplished this, but like I say, WWE was a whole new environment.
But you also need to understand this, Jose. They got talent. WWE.
Yeah.
Let me give you an example: Kurt Angle, Goldberg, Bianca Belair, Chad Gable, Tatanka. All these guys that I named, they didn't do indies. They didn't do none of that. They were just athletes from different sports, and WWE picked them up. So I kind of
Goldberg, Luger, JBL.
Lex
remember
Luger, JBL,
Jim Neidhart,
Jim the Evil Neidhart,
Hacksaw Jim Duggan played for the Falcons.
Yeah. Who else? So yeah, they've been doing that for
Macho Man
years.
played baseball for the New York Mets as Randy Poffel.
He played for the Mets? I thought he played for the Cardinals.
Somewhere around there. I think they say he got cut by the Mets and then Cardinals, something like that.
Yeah.
But then you could probably look at more for Randy Poffel.
Right. And
then Hogan was in a band, remember? Before he got into wrestling.
I thought he lied about that.
Oh, really? Oh, wow, that's news to me.
I don't know. I mean, Hogan...
I say it because that promo that Piper pulled at Halloween Havoc, remember?
You talking about that cage match where him and Hogan had?
No, it was the one when Hogan defeated the Macho Man in Halloween Havoc, and then Piper suddenly makes an appearance, and he says hi to Hulk Hogan, and he tells the Giant, Big Show Paul White, sit back, Sprout, sit back, Sprout.
Wait, what year
From the
Halloween?
Green Giant.
What year Halloween Havoc was this? Was this 98?
1996 when Hall and Nash made their appearance. And it was
okay.
Halloween Havoc after Bash in the Beach.
Oh, okay, because 97 was Roddy Piper and Hogan in that steel cage match, and then the next year it was
correct.
it was Hogan.
It was a year
and,
later after it.
And then that next year it was Hogan and Ultimate Warrior.
Yes,
and
correct.
that main
right.
event was Diamond Dallas Page versus Seven.
Yeah, so that was when,
you also had Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio.
So that's where Piper put in the promo that Hulk Hogan was in the band when he joined wrestling. He goes, Piper goes, I was 15 years old when I got into wrestling and fight. Where were you when I was in the ring and things like that? You were playing with a live band, rock and roll band, some shit like that. If you look at that promo in Halloween Havoc, Piper's debut right there, you know.
Right, and
so
Piper's running WCW is awesome.
Getting back to the topics, like you say, celebrities getting into business, yeah, it is mixed feelings. Some of them do pull it off, some of them don't. And like I said, I still don't dig Logan Paul. I don't follow him. I don't invest in him. But you got to understand, in his talent, he's a hell of a good YouTuber. I mean, I don't watch it and tune into it, but I hear his reviews are good. So you can't take that away from him. I can't take that away from him.
I think he has more than 2 million or 22 million subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah,
so you can't really take that.
And that's what I tell people. I don't be taking that away from him. You know.
What do you think
in WWE,
about?
He's got a character, you know, that it's hand out to him. You know.
Okay, I know this is gonna blow your mind, and I know it blew your mind because I know you really don't like Logan Paul. I don't like Logan Paul either. What do you think about him getting a title shot with Cody Rhodes already for the next Saudi Arabia pay-per-view?
Well, it doesn't make any sense because it doesn't have a storyline. But then you have to know in the other half that the only reason why they got him because the Prince of Saudi requested it, and they say that he's got a good fan base with the Saudi Arabia community. So it's more like a payday. But at the same time, I think I prefer Cody taking that United States belt away from him more than anything because this is Cody's world. But to me, that match is just nothing but a payday, but it doesn't have a story, you know.
Well, that's one
so
of
it
the
doesn't make any sense with it.
That's one of the
now, if you want to
wrestling.
turn it like an exhibition match, like champion versus champion, fine. But don't put the titles on the line, right? That's what I think of it. There is no story, but it was a request for Saudi Arabia, and it's a payday as soon as that pay-per-view starts. So I'm not invested in that match at all. I'm just like watching a go-home show or something like that. That's what I think of it. It's nothing for me to go, yeah, Miguel, let's do it. Let's talk about it. Nah, there's no story.
Right. And
I mean, here's the thing about I'm gonna answer this, and then I'll ask you this question. The Saudi Arabia pay-per-view events are just a payday match for the athletes with no storylines, and they're only nothing but dream matches, and it's just a payday. What's your take on the Saudi Arabia Crown Jewel event? What is it to you?
Pretty much. And second, I had when WWE first made a deal with Saudi Arabia, it kind of raises questions. I'm like, can these people really be trusted because they don't like Americans? I know, because they're always, how them and those parts are having wars with us. Like, I had mixed feelings about that. I'm like, can WWE?
Yeah, I still do.
Yeah, like, and I guess
this is WWE going to bet to their government, and and honestly, they've been through so many issues,
That, and I also think that both sides, those WWE and Saudi Arabia, maybe they're staying out of that, because that's none of their business, with the war going on between them and the United States. Like, I guess that's what they're doing, like putting that aside, acting like nothing's happening. So I don't know.
But I read from TKO, you know, they are anxious for that contract to expire as soon as possible. But after it expires, they're not going to reassign. You know, because I know they did sign a long deal, you know, to go perform pay-per-view events until the contract is over. I think they got, what, 8 more years to go or something? But they're trying to get out of it. And personally, the Saudi Arabia pay-per-view matches, there's just nothing but mixed feelings on it. You know, I mean, you know about Sami Zayn's story. He can't be there. But it was amazing that they invited him there. And second of all, you can't have women there because you know how the history about the women community gets treated there. But they're bringing them there anyway. And it kind of sucks because when Natty makes an appearance, Natalia Hart makes an appearance, people are throwing objects on her. You know, if you definitely paid attention to those matches. And most of all, remember Malachi Black, or, you know, Aleister Black was not allowed to go there because his tattoos, you know.
What? I didn't hear about that. For his
well,
tattoos?
They did. They made a restriction out of it. They tripped out of it.
Wow.
Malachi, was not welcome there